Wow! Guess where? Konza Technopolis.
We have laid sufficient basic infrastructure.
It is giving a safe space for investment.
Horizontal infrastructure in phase 1 of the project done. Now vertical infrastructure shaping up.
There will be synergy between the academic and the industry.
We are proud to be the first chartered public university established here at the Konza Technopolis.
As a developer, depending on what you want to put up, we would show you different areas where you can put up different types of buildings.
Welcome to the inaugural episode of the revamped Chamwada Report as we take you through the current status of Konza Technopolis that is designed to set standards for smart cities in Kenya under the Vision 2030 blueprint. The government of Kenya established the Konza Technopolis Development Authority (KOTDA) as a special purpose entity to facilitate the development of Konza Technopolis as a smart city. The mission of KOTDA is to ensure that Konza grows into a sustainable, world-class technology hub and a major economic driver for the nation, with a vibrant mix of businesses, workers, residents, and urban amenities. The city, also dubbed Africa's Silicon Savannah, is expected to host a population of over 250,000. It will be the first of its kind in Africa.
We began by developing the master plan, and that took us some time in order to ensure that the master plan of the Technopolis was well done and well planned. We engaged experts who have participated elsewhere in the development of smart city. And remember, we are developing this city from scratch, from a green field. Therefore, it took us quite some time to ensure that the plan was laid out correctly. We are now in the second strategic plan of the Technopolis.
KOTDA is responsible for overseeing the development and management of Konza and for establishing a strong value proposition for businesses to locate and expand in Konza.
In Konza, we are developing a sustainable smart city and an innovation ecosystem that will contribute to Kenya's knowledge economy. We intend to be a leading global technopolis and innovation hub. Konza Technopolis is at the forefront of digital transformation of our country, and therefore we have laid sufficient basic infrastructure in as far as road network is concerned, the streetscape, the utilities, water, sewer management system, solid waste management system, electrical network, and all the amenities that investors would require in a technopolis like this one.
We've got the entire Konza Technopolis is 5,000 acres in size. That's a huge size.
Huge.
But 1,000 acres has been let as a wildlife corridor because when we came here, we found wildlife roaming free, and we just said we want to coexist with the wildlife.
Okay.
Now, the other 400 acres we've already done, which is phase 1. Now the rest will be done in phases. So there's phase 3 and there's phase 2.
Konza Technopolis is located 64 kilometers south of Nairobi on the way to the city of Mombasa. It is bordered by 3 counties, that is Makueni, Machakos, and Kajiado. The city has 147 parcels of land, out of which 100 have been allocated to investors who are now at various stages of planning and design development and resource mobilization.
So what Konza itself has done is to only develop the horizontal infrastructure, the utilities, the roads. That Konza will do. But they are not going to put up the other facilities. That is going to be for the investors to come and take up. Being a government institution also, we are allowed to enter into investment agreements with private sector through the laid down procedures under the public-private partnership. So this is also something that is open for discussion and available that somebody can be able to take up. So if you have an investment idea that you feel that we can be able to co-create together, our doors are open.
Now, before we showcase some of the investment opportunities here at Konza Technopolis and the investors who are already on the ground, let me take you through some of the aspects of the horizontal infrastructure that make this city a smart city. And we begin with this flashback. Yes, this was during the construction of the underground utility tunnels. Now, works in the tunnels are complete and the tunnels are covered.
So underground here, we have got a tunnel which is 2.5 meters high by 2.5 meters wide.
Yes,
you can walk in. If you have a small go-kart, you can actually, drive right through. Yes. So on this tunnel underneath, on the one side you have the dry utilities, which is your electrical cabling, your ICT reticulation, your gas lines. On the other side you have wet utilities within the tunnel. Yes.
On the right side,
on this
dry
side,
utilities.
and then on the other side wet utilities.
Now, this is quite common in Nairobi City and other cities and towns in Kenya. Excavation to create new drainage channels or lay new underground utility cables. Look, here, water pipes, electricity cables are cut. In Konza, any new utility lines will be laid in the underground tunnels without disruption, without anyone noticing.
Yes, this is the main trunk. Yes, the tunnel.
How many kilometers?
About 3.093 kilometers, all the way to the east, to the west side. So that means when an investor comes, you don't have to cut the road and start putting pipework. Everything is underground, and it has teed off to the different parcels. So this is what we call in world-class infrastructure. We do it once, we plan once, and we do it right from the start, so that as investors, you just come, you plug and play.
This is Agwings Kodek Road, quite clumsy. Look, electricity and internet cables all over. The traditional way of doing things.
Okay, this building here is what you call an electrical cabin. As indicate this being a smart city, what we've said is we don't want to have power lines going across the city. If you can see, there are no power lines here. Everything is underground. With this electrical cabin, you have got 2 transformers in there, and then they feed to the different parcels around the city.
Yes, what you see here are what are known as smart poles. They have cameras and Wi-Fi. They will help collect data for intelligence operations, including monitoring weather and traffic. I'm told also you can press up something. Is it different, the button, if you are lost?
Yes, yes. You also have a button if you are lost, or if you're stranded somewhere and you want to call for help. You press the button and somebody in the Intelligence Operations Center would then respond to your call. It could be you walk and then you tripped, you fell, you sprained your ankle.
You just
press a button and then you get help. Help comes quickly. So this is a kind of quality of life we want to provide for the residents of this city.
Now, picture this. It's the norm in many urban places in Kenya. At Konza Technopolis, forget it. Here at Konza Technopolis, you will not see those trucks. Solid waste will be managed in a much smarter way, and the waste will be separated at source like this. And you know what? This waste will eventually be sucked through an underground tunnel to the collection point.
In this smart city, what we've designed is a unique system which is a vacuum controlled. So we do waste segregation at source. And as you can see, we have 4 receptacles for each different types of waste.
Okay.
So we have like paper, plastic, cardboard, and mixed waste, organic waste. And then here we have a venting system. You can also do it manually if you have, if you do not have a lot of garbage in your hand. Like if you're working with waste paper, place it in there and release it.
Okay.
Now, as it loads, it releases it into a collection facility at the bottom.
Okay.
You can't see it right now. And then once this garbage can is full, there's a switch here, electronic signal, that is linked to a control room that shows that this garbage point is full of, say, paper or plastic, or, as you said, mixed waste.
Okay.
So at the control room, which we will get to see, the operator is then able to start up the system, which then opens a valve beneath where we're standing, underground, and there's a pipeline network which is about 1.5 kilometers away. So it sucks all the garbage to a central repository, which we will get to see. Remember what we saw out there? We've run the system, this is the receipt. So in a closed state, this is how during operations it looks. The whole container is locked and merged into the compactor.
Eventually, this is efficient and cost effective, I believe.
Very efficient, cost effective, and more importantly, environmentally sound. Because environmental sustainability in this particular era of climate change, why would we want to cut our forests? Yet we can recycle the paper that we have collected from the city.
Let's now turn our attention to wastewater management. This will also be done differently here at Konza Technopolis.
Most of the plants that you will see in Kenya or elsewhere in the world, you will see that they occupy huge areas of land. And why this is unique is that in an area of about 5 acres, you're able to treat sewer for about 250 to 350,000 people, which will basically be the full build-up population of Konza Technopolis when it is eventually occupied by the inhabitants. The water that is reclaimed here at Konza Technopolis will be used for firefighting purposes. It will also be used for irrigation of the public parks, facilities that we have here. Another usage of this water that is reclaimed is for dual flushing in buildings that allow for water saving features. Another feature that, another use that this water will be put into is injection into the artificial lakes that we have and ensure that we have recreational facilities in the city. The wastewater that will be collected at the water reclamation facility will come from all the city buildings, basically the residential areas, the offices, and in the residential we expect not only collect the grey water and the black water, we also expect to collect sewer from the kitchen, the washrooms, the toilets, all that will all be combined and brought here for treatment. We also note that in the city there are about 4 bunds. There is a sewer that will be coming from specialist institutions like hospitals, like light industrial areas. We're able to extract 99% of the water to WHO potable standards. The other 1% that remains, of course, will be recycled into the system again, and within the 24-hour cycle we should be able to get 100% of the water treated.
This is what you call, it's a fire hydrant, so it provides pressurized water for the fire engines. So in the event of a fire within the smart city, the fire engine would quickly come and they would connect this. It would provide pressurized water to fight the fires. So this is a kind of investment that has gone into the city, a world-class smart African city. So you have this at different points, and even for this we'll be using recycled water because we believe in the circularity, conserving our resources.
As indicated earlier, there are 147 parcels of land in the first phase of this project. out of which 100 have been taken by investors. The Kenya Institute of Science and Technology, also known as Kenya IST, is the anchor tenant for Konza City. This administration block will be a signature building of the university, quite iconic. The project is expected to be handed over in December this year and the first cohort of students to join in May 2025.
We expect that the companies that will come into the city and they'll be working in the city, the students in Kenya IST to be working very closely with those industries, and therefore there will be synergy between the academic and the industry. So the academic industry link is foreseen to be very intensive when the industries start up here. So we are supposed to be feeding into those industries and the ideas also feeding into us in terms of research.
The hostels are also almost done.
The total capacity by the 5th year, that is the first phase is up to 5 years, we are looking at 348 students. It's designed to be a small, lean institute so that the focus is more on what is supposed to be the mandate than the big numbers. So we are starting with 16 students per program in the first year, and that number will increase as we move forward.
Here in Konza, there are tenants who are already in business. The Open University of Kenya, whose offices and facilities are located in the Kotda main building, was the first chartered public university to be established here. That was in August 2023. It offers online studies.
The choice of establishing a physical presence of the Open University at the Konza Technopolis was informed by a number of factors. The first was the already existing high-tech infrastructure that is required for us to offer our programs online. The second is about the ambience that had already been created by the Technopolis, an already existing building, a floor that we were able to partition, that was just ready for use by a university or an institution of our kind. And that enabled us to very quickly arrange for partitioning and the necessary materials and furniture and the infrastructure required to be put in place in order to quickly start operating. And also, number three, we are looking into the future of Konza, where the technology companies will find a home here. We are looking at a home of like-minded business, the business of technology integration, providing the highest levels of services online and otherwise to the world. And the Open University will therefore partner with those institutions for our students who want to quickly get internship and opportunities to cement their skills, and also a way of creating an avenue for employment for our students to the technology companies which will be here.
And did you know that Riara University will be moving its headquarters and main campus to Konza Technopolis? Yes, they've just done the groundbreaking and works are ongoing.
First, Riara is all about nurturing innovators. So that's our motto. And for the last 10 to 12 years, we've been nurturing innovators in our Nairobi campus. But as far back as 2014, we expressed interest to come to Konza. By that time, there was nothing here in Konza. It was just an idea. But come last year, we came and we found really Konza has taken off. And a lot of things have happened within Konza's Technopolis. So it was a natural site for us to come to, because Konza is a smart city. It's all about innovations, and Riara is all about innovations. So where we are now, we are just setting up our first block. So we'll do the campus in phases, 3 phases actually. So we're doing phase 1, which will take about 8 months. Then we're going to set up our main tuition buildings next to this in another 1 to 2 years. And within about 5 years, we expect to have completed construction of the entire campus.
Konza Technopolis already has a fully functional national data center that is currently operational and hosting government cloud and also enterprise cloud.
We also have Public Safety Center, which is a state-of-the-art security command center, which will be able to provide surveillance of the Technopolis. It also hosts the fire station that will provide emergency services to the residents, and also the patrol, the security, the police center that will ensure that security of the Technopolis is enhanced. We also have the conference facility, which is almost completing, and this will provide us with a convention that will be able to house almost 1,000 guests at a time, and it will be linked to a hotel that will provide also the accommodation services for the delegates who will come to attend conference at the Technopolis. We've also completed the furnished apartment, which is a 28-unit facility that will provide also supplemental accommodation requirement for guests who will be visiting the Technopolis. We have a drone corridor, which will be providing facilitation for drone activities. You know, as Konza Technopolis, we are identified with emerging technologies, and drone technology has become one of those technologies that will be emerging and will be providing revenue generation avenues for the Technopolis.
KOTDA is also targeting Kenyans living abroad to invest in the smart city, which enjoys tax advantages of a special economic zone and export processing zone.
We are building Africa's smartest city. After it is Africa's smartest city, it's going to stand head and shoulders with the rest of the world. So many people in the diaspora sometimes wonder, if I go back home or if I invest back in Kenya, how do I tackle the challenges that come with that? So what we are saying is that Konza has been able to tackle all that. We have a one-stop shop that is able to handhold all our investors through the processes of registration, through dealing with other government agencies, through getting the required licenses, and really just being there to hold your hand. So you don't feel that because I'm away or I've been away for a while, I might not know the lay of the land. We are here to do that. And this facility is available for all of Konza's investors. So diaspora really has a role to play. A lot of times we find that our people, when they went out there, were exposed to new technologies, new ways of doing things, new ethics of work, and new styles of doing things. These are things that they can be able to bring back home and leverage on the progress that we've been making as a country while they have been away.
Great, and that's a glimpse of the current status of Konza Technopolis. Remember, the Chamada report is always inspiring, informative, unpredictable, and out of the ordinary. We are glad you found time to be with us in this inaugural show or inaugural episode of the Revamped Show. Remember, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so and keep it Chams Media.